My roommate labeled shared food. I followed directions. When I moved in with Logan, he seemed normal, clean, quiet, paid rent on time. We split groceries down the middle and kept things simple. Then Logan got a girlfriend. Suddenly my food started disappearing. The leftover pizza I was saving, the expensive cheese I bought for meal prep, the 6-pack of craft beer I'd been looking forward to all week. When I asked Logan about it, he shrugged. Brianna was hungry. We're all sharing this space anyway. I tried to explain that sharing space doesn't mean sharing groceries I paid for. He rolled his eyes and walked away. The next week, it got worse. Brianna started staying over every single night. She'd eat my eggs in the morning while I was at work, drink my coffee, use my creamer. I came home one day to find her making a full meal with my chicken, my vegetables, and my rice. She didn't even look up when I walked in. I told Logan we needed to talk. He said I was being dramatic, that I needed to relax, that it was just food. Just food I was paying for while working 50-hour weeks. I started hiding things in my room, keeping a mini fridge by my bed. It felt ridiculous in my own apartment. Then Logan did something that changed everything. He went to the store and bought a label maker, started putting his name on everything in the fridge. Every single item had a little white sticker that said, "Logan, do not touch." The kicker? Half the stuff he labeled was food we'd bought together, shared groceries, things I'd paid for equally. When I pointed this out, he said since Brianna was basically living here now, they needed to protect their food from being eaten unfairly. Their food. That I helped pay for. I was furious. But then I noticed something on the labels he'd put on the truly shared items, the ones we'd split the cost on. They didn't say Logan, do not touch. They said shared, take what you need. He'd actually labeled the shared food differently, probably thought he was being clever, organized, so I followed his directions. I started with the butter, took what I needed, then the milk, took what I needed, the bread, the condiments, the coffee, the paper towels, the dish soap. I took what I needed, which was everything. I moved every single shared item into my room, into my mini fridge, into my personal storage. When Logan came home and opened the empty fridge, he lost his mind. Where's all the food? I pointed at his label maker. I followed the instructions. Shared means take what you need. I needed it. That's not what that means. Then maybe you should have been more specific. He called me petty, called me childish. Brianna came out of his room and started yelling about how she was hungry and there was nothing to eat. I suggested they order delivery. Logan demanded I return the shared groceries. I told him I would when he returned. Everything Brianna had eaten over the past 2 months. He went quiet. I pulled out my phone and showed him the spreadsheet I'd been keeping. Every item Brianna consumed, every meal she made with my ingredients, every drink, every snack, every single thing. The total came to $347. He stared at the number. That's insane. You're insane. I'm organized, just like you with your label maker. Brianna grabbed Logan's arm. This is ridiculous. Let's just go out to eat. Logan looked at the empty fridge, then at me, then at his girlfriend. Fine, we'll figure this out later. They left. Didn't come back until 2 inches the morning. The next day, Logan approached me with a different attitude. He apologized for letting things get out of hand. Said Brianna would start contributing to groceries or she'd stop eating our food. I told him I appreciated that. Then I handed him a Venmo request for $347. He paid it that afternoon. Brianna moved out of our apartment 3 weeks later. Not because of me, because she'd been doing the same thing at her actual apartment with her actual roommates. Turns out she'd been freeloading everywhere she stayed. Logan and I actually get along fine now. We still split groceries, but he threw away the label maker.